Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the SimSock Super Series presented by Mozzarella Sticks. I am very attractive, and with me, as always, is noted parking brake enthusiast, Maggotts.
I mean, I feel like the parking brake really doesn't even serve a purpose in today's day and society, so that's a little harsh on your part.
I mean, you pull the parking brake, and you whee around the corner, and you look cool.
I see. We are here at Monza for the ESR RWB Super Series presented by SimSock, as Byron said, but not quite the full title, so, I have to be pedantic. And this is the Tier 3 race at Monza here. It looks like we have 16 cars on track. Voodoo at the top of the time charts, as per usual, once again. Interesting to see SimSock Beal up there. He's not traditionally been a front row threat, but he is up in second place right now.
Can we agree that his real name is Batmo Beal?
Batmo Beal. I'm good with it. I'm fine with it. Got some new people on the grid, or at least names that I don't recognize. H. Mohammed, NTK. Welcome aboard. Or welcome back. Or I apologize for not having noticed you in the past. I think that covers all the possibilities, doesn't it?
Perhaps they are time travelers and have come from the future to mess with you in this particular regard.
Well, that would still make them new.
No, they're very old.
Only if they came from the past.
Depends on your particular view on the paradox of time.
Well, welcome anyway that you are with us. RWB Robert here, coming through Ascari. Monza is maybe the only track actually in the world where I can name every turn.
And also because Mozzarella Sticks?
Well, it's also because Monza has so few actual turns that it's really quite easy to remember them all. It's
literally just a straight line with a couple of bends to it.
It actually kind of is. Basically, that turn that they just went through, Parabolica, that's about the only, proper turn on the entire track.
You kids and your peristalsis.
So we have finished up the qualifying here. A couple people might yet have a lap time to put down. Looks like Max Simmons is still out there, so maybe he can get up on the front row. And we're also waiting on Vladimir Korniev to finish up. Speaking of him, there are actually both of them. That's Korniev and Simpson right there.
I'm still gonna make eyeball jokes about that guy.
Oh yeah, Korniev. Yeah.
I got something in my Korniev. I scratched my Korniev.
Well, they are currently trying to see what they can do about their lap times. Coming to the end here as they head down the straightaway that leads to the Ascari chicane, which is this one right here. One of the more challenging turns on the track. I will be somewhat subdued because my roommates are sleeping. I don't wish to wake them.
That's probably for the best.
Also, Andy is tuckered out in the corner, and I don't want to really disturb him because he's disturbed enough. Andy is my sister's dog. I take care of him for the evening.
Andy's actually a homeless person. Don't let him fool you. Michael is very generous.
Well, I am very generous. That does paint me in a much brighter light than it is actually because things get darker. I mean, Deadliest Game darker.
Is that the tennis with the long fuse dynamite?
No, that's the Ice-T movie.
Oh.
So Voodoo will start on pole ahead of SimSock Beal, Max Simmons, Morpheus 1975, Daniel Madringa, Liam Curtin, Kate Warburton, Javier Perez-Torres, Marcus Subtotal, Dave Nelson, the current ESR Academy Dominator, Big Al, Vladimir Korniev, RWB Robert, Kim Johansson, H. Mohammed, don't know your first name yet, apologies, and Neil Thick. Why? Question, Mr. Thick. Why does your name show up as NTK, but your name is Neil Thick?
Because you cannot possibly witness the thickness.
That's a fair point. I should have thought of that, Byron. Thank you for pointing out the basic psychology of the world.
It's physics.
I mean, more like astrophysics, but I'll let you
know. Whoa, how thick are we talking about here? Let's calm down a little bit.
We are talking about the thickness, sir.
Whoa.
So we're 2 minutes here from the start of the race in a little bit. Anyone that you're calling on for today, Byron? Anyone you feeling good about?
I believe that Javier Perez Torres will be victorious by running everybody off the map into the ground and destruction.
I'm not sure I share your optimism just because he's starting from 8th place. But
I think Max Simmons at some point will hold the lead for a considerable amount of time and then pit last and then lose.
And then go off the track a number of times and throw away the win, like he's done the last 2 races.
I don't know about go off the track a number of times, but there's definitely going to be a strategy error.
Well, he did that at Kyalami and Silverstone. Like I said, he's literally thrown away, fair. I think, 2 of the last 3 races. So, there is that chance.
But can you compete with the Batmobile?
That's a tough call. See, I actually think conspiracy time here for a moment, or coach time for a moment here, to honor the Colin Farrell character in the movie that we just watched, The Gentleman.
If you have not seen The Gentleman, you really should.
Recommended. Max Simmons, I feel like, would actually have been better off putting in a decent tiering time and getting in tier 2. Because he doesn't do this when he's when he's racing close to people. It seems like when he gets way ahead, he loses the plot and goes off the track. It feels like he would have been better off in tier 2 competing friskily for top 5s than getting way out in front in tier 3 and just crashing off the track.
And Max Simmons is nothing if not frisky.
Hey, whoa. Hey, we're trying to stay away from the from the underage stuff here, please. Thank you.
Listen, it's not my fault that he's very convinced by sweet tarts and panel vans. That's not my not my lookout.
Panel vans. Have you tried a Volkswagen Golf on that yet?
No, too small.
That's true. You driving a Volkswagen Golf would be problematic.
So, here's a story before we hit the green lights.
Oh, okay.
My brother and I, our very first car was donated by a friend of the family. It was a 77 Honda Civic. Oh, little nose in the ass. Little nose in the ass. All right.
I think you're more Korniev. You're more Korniev. Had a hard time finding the gas pedal there. Looked like
Korniev gonna have a coronary. Anyway, my brother. So I'm like 6.5 feet tall. My brother's a little taller than me, and our very first car was a 77 Honda Civic. My dad's a mechanic, and he unbolted the front seats and then rebolted them to the frame farther back. I've never had so much goddamn leg room in a car in my life.
Absolutely. Although the guys behind you would have had no leg room.
Well, we didn't have people with us. They're not worthy of the Honda.
I didn't say it was a problem. I just said it as a fact.
You got to get compact and really, really help us out when we're going uphill on that 4-banger engine. Oh, boy.
We head towards the first chicane. Redifilio. Here we go. This one can always be very... 3 wide. Liam Curtin kind of getting barged out there a little bit. Oh, a spin for, I believe that is the Aston Martin of Marcus Subtotal. Big Al also off the track. That is Big Al we're looking at the back of right now. Not really sure why the camera decided that.
Big Al's.
In the meantime, at the front of the pack, it is Voodoo out. Oh, Simsock Beal! Simsock may have just killed Max Simmons.
Simsock, I can do you.
A couple of people hopping over the Rajia chicane there. Simmons is back on, so he is not dead. And in fact, actually picked up a spot in that whole thing. That is stunning. A lot of action going on behind them. Daniel Madringa in there. Liam Curtin in there. Didn't catch who the middle car was. I believe that is also Kate Warburton in the Jensen Rocket in the mix there. I think that's Javier in the Emile Frey Lexus. A lot of Lexuses in the field. But I do believe they're all different liveries, so actually it should be pretty easy to tell them apart, which is nice.
I believe actually Javier is driving up the souped-up Coupe de Ville.
Ooh, nice overtake around the outside of Morpheus there by Kate Warburton, who moves into 5th place in the Jensen Rocket McLaren 720. Liam Curtin in behind that, Javier, Korniev, and Nelson rounding off the top 10. Johansson's in the mix there as well. Interesting to see Kim Johansson down the grid so far. Normally one of the faster guys in this field, but or girls. I still haven't figured out male or female.
Human entities.
Human entity in 11th place.
I would like to say that I'm becoming more impressed with Liam Curtin. He's slowly slowly creeping up placements as time goes on. He's actually showing genuine progression, not like overnight sensation and then crashing.
Speaking of which, he's going down the inside of Morpheus there, and he's going to take 6th place.
There you go. Or is he?
I also like that Rebel racing car. That's the team him, Wesley Stokes, and Andres Lacutis race for on Wednesday. It's a pretty nice looking car. And we pick up Vladimir Korniev, who has lost 9th place to Dave Nelson, so he is slipping back. But we'll see if he can reverse it as he tries to go up the inside here into Raji. Oh, overcooked it. Nelson having to take evasive action, and it looks like Johansson will take 10th place off him as a result. Johansson's got a run on Nelson as well, but they head into the Lesmos, and Nelson does manage to hang on to 9th place.
You can't just call people Lesmos anymore, dude.
I'm calling the corner Lesmos.
Oh, sure.
It's true. Look up a track map.
Next thing you're gonna tell me you're not guilty of calling out these wide corners people have. Right, sure, whatever.
I'm describing the thickness of the corner. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not the thickness of the corner, it's the velocity of the penetration. I mean, sorry, what?
Also, let's be honest, this track is in Italy. They don't believe in political correctness there. So,
But they do believe in marinara sauce.
That they do. I have never been a big believer in marinara sauce.
That's because you, sir, are not a big believer in mozzarella sticks.
Looking down the inside, there is Korniev. Johansson got real wide there into Parabolica, and that does allow Korniev to take advantage of the thickness.
Giggity.
So Voodoo continues to lead by a fairly good margin over Max Simmons, Simsock Beal, Daniel Madringa, Kate Warburton, Liam Curtin, Morpheus, Javier Perez-Torres, Dave Nelson, Korniev, and Kim Johansson.
Simsock sucking to you.
Mohammed, who started on the back row, is up to 12th place, so he's having a pretty decent run right now ahead of RWB Robert. Marcus Subtotal, of course, got taken out on lap 1. He's back there a ways, as is Big Al. Neil Thick has slipped to the back of the pack, so something happened to him.
Literal explosion.
I mean, it's not impossible. Voodoo looking good once again to continue to dominate the Tier 3 series here. Voodoo Child.
Nothing but style.
Korniev looking down the inside at Lesmo, but nothing happened. Oh, somebody is off. That is the Porsche Morpheus 1975, I believe. So he will drop back in the pack in the Simsock Porsche as Korniev goes off as well.
Thunderkiss, why you do this to me?
Oh, RWB Robert looking for a way through. Morpheus on his tail. Subtoodles in there as well as Mohammed. Mohammed has fallen back to 14th place, so things not going well for him. Mightycasters cursed him a little bit, as Korniev's car does not look like it's terribly capable of maintaining a line, but he does make it through Ascari without tremendous problem. That was the other Jensen rocket car, I think, off the track, and I think Kate Warburton might be falling back right now, as is Simsock Beal. So maybe problems between Warburton and Beal. They had a run-in during the Kalambi race, so this would be a second one for those two. Warburton back down to 9th place. And Warburton is still dropped. Oh, she is in the pit lane. So whatever happened, Warburton has come off the worst of it and is in the pits here early. This is an out of window pit stop, so she will have to make a second pit stop as Vladimir Korniev takes the escape road at Redophilia.
I would like to remind all racers that in the grim darkness of race future, there is only war.
There's only blood for the blood god.
Transmission fluid for the transmission god.
Korniev is losing all the places here. If I were him, I would have pitted. It looks like that car is definitively defective right now, and is having a hard time. Although, I don't know. I guess he made it through Raggia there fairly well, and we saw him get through Ascari fairly well. But he made a complete hash out of Lesmos there, getting a bit wide, and also Redofilio. So I don't know. Maybe just driver error. But, oh, he's going in the wall again. Now he definitely needs to pit. We're a long way away from the pit window, too. I don't think there's any way he can get around the 13 minutes worth of lapping before getting into the pits. He needs to get in there now. Terrible day for the Jensen Rocket cars because Warburton had to pit earlier and is back in 16th place. Hamza Muhammad back up into 12th ahead of Big Al. Getting a little bit off track there, and that is going to let Big Al through into 12th place. So it is now Voodoo leading Simmons, Madringa up onto the podium ahead of Simsock Beal. Then it is Curtin, Javi Perez-Torres up to 6th place. And then Nelson Johansson, RWB Robert, and Marcus Subtotal is back in the top 10.
Total.
In fact, as I was saying, he just took 9th place from RWB Robert. So big charge from the Aston Martin. We are very much riding with Hamza Muhammad right now. Not overly sure why. And Korniev as well as Neil Thick are in the pits. Bad day for McLaren. 3 of their cars have had to pit outside of the pit window. The only one that hasn't so far, and I'm not trying to caster's curse you here, Kim, is Kim Johansson.
Good old Kimberthy.
As Hamza Muhammad gets a little bit out of track limits there through Rajia. Continues on his way. Got to be careful when you get out of hand at Rajia because those big bumps they can wreck a car really quickly.
Sounds.
Big Al! Good. Big Al is pointing the wrong way.
No, it's fine. He's just gonna hit the J turn and like whip around and it's gonna look really cool. That didn't look that cool. Didn't look that cool.
He just hit the wall. So we pick up Marcus Subtotal. That is going to be one of the lapped Jensen Rocket cars. Must be Kate Warburton because it shows Korniev is still in the pit lane. So Warburton back out on track and getting lapped, which is not a good place to be in. It's going to be a really complicated race for Warburton, Korniev, and Thick because, well, maybe not so much Thick because he was at the back anyways, but Warburton and Korniev, do you feel like they actually have some legitimate pace? And it's going to be a bit weird dealing with some of the blue flags that are going to be coming their way. As RWB Robert drops out of the top 10, getting passed by Morpheus 1975. Oh, contact there. That was Curtin sideways, as well as, I think, Javier Perez-Torres. No, Javi. No.
Javi, why?
We'll see an update here if it is him dropping, but I'm pretty sure that was the Emil Frey Lexus of Javier Perez-Torres. And it was. Javier's back to 8th. Nope, 7th. Picked up the spot over Curtin. So that promotes Dave Nelson in his Tech 1 Lexus into the top 5. Should be mentioned, Neil Thick's been in the pits for quite some time, which concerns me that he may just be out of the race.
Not Neil the Big Deal Thick. Anything but that.
RWB Robert is back up into the top 10. No, he's not. Yes, maybe? Did he get past Morpheus? Is that Morpheus back there? Might be Morpheus back there. That's Warburton directly behind him. And that is, indeed, Morpheus 1975. So Morpheus made a mistake at some point and dropped back to 11th place.
Can we agree that every time somebody passes Morpheus, that Beyond the Walls of Sleep by Black Sabbath should play?
I agree. As Warburton unlaps herself from RWB Robert on the approach to Parabolica. Oh, or maybe not. She got a little bit wide there. That might let Robert relap her.
I'm sorry, it's Behind the Walls of Sleep. My bad.
As they head down towards Redifilio once again. As Warburton seems to be a little bit hesitant about this. She wants to unlap herself from RWB Robert. But he's kind of treating it like a position battle, which is a bit weird.
Is this where I paraphrase from Major Payne? Is you best unlap yourself or I will rip your head off and shit down your neck.
That would be very good encouragement to Ms. Warburton or Mrs. Warburton. We don't know.
Or Mister. You don't know.
Pretty sure we have confirmed the gender of Warburton
Oh,
as
okay.
female.
Madame Warburton.
At the very least, other RWB admins and stewards have referred to her as a female. I assume they know their own drivers when they are female.
Madame Warburton Esquire.
As,
Can ladies be Esquire? I don't even know what really that means.
I actually don't know what that means. I know it's.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm
gonna look it up.
I'm
gonna look it up, and we're gonna derail commentary entirely at some point.
Okay. Simsock Beal on the tail of Daniel Madringa as the battle for the last podium spot goes on. I've noticed that Simsock has ditched his custom livery because he is shown in the Tech 1 car now. So, interesting choice. I'm hoping that the 2020 Tech 1 gets into the game soon because it looks sexy.
Is it interesting? Shit, god damn it. I had the entire Eminem line in my head, and then it all went away. I feel like many people listening to this commentary can relate to that at this point.
It is a very startling shade of orange, which I do approve of.
Interesting. The best thing since wrestling, infesting in your kids' ears and nesting.
There we go.
Hey, it's your boy. Esquire. Esquire is usually a courtesy title. In the United Kingdom, Esquire historically was the title of respect accorded to men, specifically, apparently, of higher social rank, particularly members of landed gentry above the rank of gentleman, but below the rank of knight.
So Esquire.
Yeah, basically, but not in the serving a knight type capacity, I think. Like, you're not the guy that follows the knight around and, like, polishes his spurs and, like, waxes his horse and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. But probably a derivative of Squire in some way.
Yeah.
Or Squire may be a derivative of Esquire.
No, I think it might have been, like, to be a squire of a knight was an advantageous position. You got to eat food, which was good. But at some point, the whole being a knight became more powerful and more of a higher raised part of society. And being a squire became an esquire. Sort of like, I'm not quite a knight, I don't have all that power, but I'm better than you, who dresses fancy with a tie.
I am above this gentleman.
Indeed. Which is not to be confused with The Gentleman movie by Guy Ritchie, which you should definitely watch, which we just have watched.
We did. Matthew McConaughey, Charlie Hunnam, Hugh Grant's in there.
Indeed, Hugh Grant.
One of Ray's associates in the movie definitely rung a bell for me, but I haven't placed it, and I didn't make out what his name was, so I can't even really look it up.
It was like the bald white dude, right?
Yeah, it was.
He looks like a guy who should definitely have been in Lock, Stock, or Snatch.
It looks,
but he wasn't one of those guys. I'm right there with you on that.
I was kind of there. I was thinking it looked exactly like Dave Legino, and then I looked it up, and no, Dave Legino was not in the movie.
Yeah,
so.
he definitely looks like a guy who should be in those movies, but isn't that guy. Who I'm assuming at some point got old and probably wasn't appropriate for that role.
I don't know. I've seen what Dave Legino looks like, and he still very much looks appropriate for the role.
Whoa. Be still your palpitating organs.
Not that level of it. I just mean he's intimidating still.
You like that, don't you?
As we pick up Kate Warburton here, she's on the tail of one of the Porsches, but that is not for position. That is Morpheus she's behind, and Muhammad that she is ahead. Madringa's still trying to defend against Simsock Beal.
Simsock, suck it too.
Good to see Daniel Madringa up in third place. He's a very much developing ESR driver. Very interesting. Shows a lot of pace, but has a lot to learn.
Especially when it comes to spoiler profile. Or is that a thing? I don't
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Okay, yay! I said something. that connects with actual racing.
It does. It's very
Not just-
aerodynamically. It's an aerodynamically important feature.
Not just random geographical stuff or animal facts.
Or movie facts.
Movie facts, OP. Ask me
MMA
anything, I
facts.
can tell
Pro
you.
wrestling facts. Really, we're really just a gigantic factoid, frankly.
That's correct. Mike, top 3 tag teams of all time, go.
I gotta go with the Dudley Boys.
That's fair.
I'm gonna go with number 2, probably the Road Warriors, to be honest.
Yeah.
And number 3. Number 3 is a tough one. Are we talking about like impact, in-ring quality? Is there a
matter.
metric?
Doesn't matter.
So we're just going with the overall theme. Okay.
Overall, top 3 tag teams in no particular order.
And I'll throw the Brothers of Destruction on there because it really elevated the tag team to the main event during their time period.
Yeah, I can see that. I guess.
And it was a really good tag team. I mean, the only thing was, of course, that it was kind of hard to sell another tag team as a threat to Kane and The Undertaker. But they did a pretty damn competent job of it over their tenure. So it works.
Hey, you need to keep your Coke spoon under control, sir.
That wasn't the Coke spoon.
No? Was the heroin spoon?
Whoa! I do not do that dirty drug, sir. I have Ray's view on the matter.
Oh, please extend your views verbally.
That it's a dirty drug, and it's one that you will never catch near my veins.
Correct.
David Nelson, by the way, would like to apply that to Kim Johansson because Johansson's all over the back of him and has caught him. So problems maybe for the Lexus here against the McLaren 720. Javier is just about 4 seconds behind these two. In fact, he should be coming to shot. There he is. As well as the car chasing him, which is Marcus Subtotal. Javier has had a lot of good battles with Marcus Subtotal. That's turning into a low-key rivalry in this championship. Very nicely.
I heard that Javier put 3 or 4 ping pong balls in his gas tank.
I mean, it's possible.
Javier Perez Torres. Oh my goodness, double pancake.
Nelson took too much, and Javier's going to take 2 spots out of that. Javier back up to 6th place. Javier back up into 6th place with Subtotal still right behind him in 7th. Or actually, that's actually 5th place for Javi. My math is off
I believe it's actually pronounced Subtotal.
Voodoo looked like he was really comfortable out in front, but we've caught up with him, and Max Simmons has closed that down to less than a second. So the Ferrari has got some pace right now. Oh, God. Oh, that is thick.
Nudge.
And Neil Thick has just taken out the race leader.
Well done, sir. Witness the thickness.
Max Simmons needs to slide him a $20 bill right now. Not as a bribe. That's just the gratuity.
Correct.
So Voodoo is still in 2nd place, so it hasn't hurt him too badly. But Madringa is pretty close to him, and Simsock Beal is not too far back either. Javier in 5th place, then it is Marcus Subtotal, Liam Curtin, Dave Nelson, RWB Robert, Morpheus 1975, Hamza Muhammad, Kim Johansson's dropped back to 12th place. That would be off the contact with Nelson. He did not recover well by the looks of it. Big Al 13th, and then the lapped cars start coming into play. That is Warburton, Korniev, and Thick. Liam Curtin is into the pit lane to be our first mandatory stopper of the race. Hamza Muhammad also in the pits.
I have stumbled upon the hierarchy of titles on Wikipedia.
Hit me.
There's a lot. It goes down like from emperor all the way down of like different tiers.
Oh boy.
It's king and queen, not at the top.
I rather enjoyed. You ever play the board game Diplomacy?
No.
So the deal with Diplomacy is you basically take control of one of the world. We lost Neil Thick from the race, by the way. You take control of one of the European imperial powers at the start of the 1900s. So Turkey, aka the Ottoman Empire, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Germany, Russia, Italy, France, UK, and you play as them. And the interesting thing I found is that, with one exception, they actually have unique titles for their leaders, which was interesting.
And all of them are Doge.
Because, of course, the UK, King. Russia, the Tsar. Germany, Kaiser. Austria has an emperor. Turkey has a sultan. France has a president, because at that point they had gone democratic. The only exception is, of course, you had a second king, because it was the King of Italy. Also, if you wish to test any of your friendships and lose them, play diplomacy. That's how that game works.
Dope. Well, this is only a monarchical.
Before you continue, I do have some sad news. Vladimir Korniev appears to be out of the race.
Oh, that's no good. I don't like that at all.
Quick rundown before Byron gets into this, because it's going to take a while, and I'm fine with it. Max Simmons leads, courtesy of Neil Thick taking out Voodoo Child. Voodoo Child in second place. Daniel Madringa, who we're on board with, is in third, being heavily chased by Simsock Beal. Our boy, Javier Perez Torres, is in fifth place, ahead of Marcus Subtotal, Dave Nelson, RWB Robert, Morpheus 1975, and Kim Johansson. Byron, the spotlight is yours.
Oh my god, you're about to hear way too much about you. You literally will have to yell, you will have to shout me down, because if I start this, we are never stopping until I'm done.
Well, I'm hoping we don't see too much in the way of action in the pit window here. So this is as good a time as any.
Fair enough. Alright, so I'm just going to start listing off. Tier 1 is Emperor, Empress, King, Emperor, King, Queen, Empress. I'm not sure how that works out, but okay.
As Madringa has just lost third place to Simsock Beal. Very, very bad timing, Simsock. Oh, never mind. He did not complete the pass.
You just made a King, Emperor type move, sir. Well done, well done.
Take a drink there, because Simsock Beal took the position and lost it.
Hey! So you got your Emperor, Empress, King, Emperor, Queen, Empress, Kaiser, Tsar, and Tsarina. That's all tier 1. Mm-hmm. You got High King, High Queen, Great King, Great Queen. That's tier 2.
Okay.
Tier 3 is King and Queen. Mm-hmm. Tier next is I'm bad at math because Jin. Archduke, Archduchess, and Tsarevich. Something. Tsarevich. After that, we've got Grand Prince, Princess, Grand Duke, and Duchess. We have after that Prince Elector, Prince, Princess, Crown Prince, Crown Princess.
Whoa! I think Hamza Muhammad just absolutely murdered something on that curve. He went airborne in the background there. Holy shit!
Nice. I'm just trying to read and keep my eyes straight, and that race is on the other monitor.
Don't worry. I'll interject if something cool happens.
Excellent. What else we got here? Foreign Prince, Prince Dusang, Infanta, Dauphine, Krawina, Jarl, Tsarevich, and Yarvina. Tsarevich and Tsarevina. After that, we've got Duke, Duchess, Herzog, Werner Herzog OP, Knyaz, that's how it, Princely Count. I would like to be addressed as a Princely Count if that's okay.
Princely Count, Byron, done.
Princely Count! I'm just the fanciest count in the world. After that, next level we have Sovereign Prince and Princess, Fürsten, and Boyar. I'm pronouncing the umlauts. It's F-U-R-S-T, but with umlauts. Mm-hmm. And after that, we've got Marquis, Marquiones, Margrave, Marcher Lord, Landgrave, Count Palatine. Wow, that's your boy from Star Wars. Way down the ranks.
Marquis and a Marcher Lord are on the same level?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Well, you march as hard as the Marcher Lords. If you march as hard as you can and you become a Marcher Lord, you probably are OP.
Yes.
Next down the line, we have Count, Countess, Earl, Graf, Chatelaine, Castellian, and Burgrave, or Burgrave.
Graph is that low. That makes me feel bad about my BattleTech game where I'm talking with Grav Steinblitz all the time. I thought he was more important, but apparently
maybe
not.
if motherfucker marched a little harder, he could be a Marcher Lord. Below that, we've got Viscount, Viscountess, and Vidame.
Isn't it Viscount?
It's either Viscount or Viscount. It's not Visconti.
I think it's Viscount.
You would say that. It's probably Viscount, but who knows? I've heard. I think the French pronounce it Vicomte, which I have gone through the Count of Monte Cristo many times. So fight me. The next level down from that, we have Baron, Baroness. Shit, how do you pronounce that? Freiherr, Advocatus, Lord of Parliament, Thane, and Lendman. Those are some very diverse and interesting to pronounce things. Below that, we have Baronet, Baroness. Oh, no, wait. Baronet and Baroness. Baronetess?
Big Al coming out in a bit of a bad spot there as RWB Robert and Morpheus battle to Redifilio over 6th place.
I agree with that.
Apparently 5th, actually.
Okay, so very specifically, to go with Baronet and Baronetess, we have Scottish Feudal Baron and Scottish Feudal Baroness. Very specific.
Interesting.
To go with Ritter and Imperial Knight.
Well, stop-go penalty for Daniel Madringa. That is probably speeding in the pit lane, I would imagine.
Oh, he didn't just pull a brakie in front of somebody, got penalized for it?
Nah, he was in the pits, so I'm assuming stop-go penalty, speeding in the pits. That's going to ruin his bid for the podium, because he was very close with Simsock Beal, had managed to get out of the pits ahead of him.
I mean, he's got half an hour. He can just do the thing and then just drive fast.
That's a lot of driving fast. That's making up over a minute over the course of these laps. Which
come on! I watched
like 2 seconds
Ferrari a couple of weeks ago, and you can totally do that.
That's a 24-hour race.
Wow! You're saying that as if you're not wrong, in which case you're probably not wrong.
It's a 24-hour race, sir. Penalties in that, a single stop go, and that is child's play. This is significantly shorter.
I suppose so.
As RWB Robert and Morpheus are battling into... Are we at Parabolica? We are at Parabolica. Oh, no! Morpheus lost. That was weird. Looks like the front end just bit and turned him around. I'm very puzzled by what happened there. But RWB Robert is not going to ask questions. He's going to move up into 4th place as our boy Javi Perez Torres is in the pit lane for his mandatory stop. And Morpheus and Kim Johansson also dive into the pits. So yet to pit, Max Simmons, Voodoo, Marcus Subtotal, and RWB Robert.
All right, I got 3 more levels to get through here. In the third to last level of Imperial Nobility, we have Ekis, Knight, Chevalier, Ritter, Lady Dame, Sir, Sire, Madam, Edelfrei, Signier, I think, Lord and Laird. And below that we have Lord of the Manor, Gentleman, Gentry, Esquire, Edler, Yonkier, Junker, Younger, and Maid. And below that you just have Ministerials.
Voodoo in the pits. So Max Simmons is once again going for the overcut. Not fucking surprising.
Would like to congratulate myself for totally ruining this entire commentary. Thank you.
We soldier through. Kate Warburton gets the camera on her for... Don't take this the wrong way, Kate. Some reason that I really can't figure out, because that is not that is Kim Johansson, but you are not fighting Kim Johansson. You are in last place. We've lost somebody else. Who is missing? It's Hamza Mohammed we're missing. So we're down to 13 cars from the 16 we started with.
Could it have been potentially a Scottish feudal baron?
Possibly.
Specifically a feudal Scottish baron.
So Warburton out ahead of Johansson, and that is Morpheus in behind him. But she is, of course, down 1, maybe 2 laps. I'm not sure. I think. Well, they may not actually be down a lap to these guys yet, but she's not racing them. I'm not. The gap system in this game sometimes leaves it a bit hard to pinpoint the lap count. It's like it's claiming Simsock Beal, for example, is down a lap. He is not. As Subtotal and RWB Robert hit the pit lane. And that means, Byron, can I get a drum roll, please? The last man to pit in this race will be Max Simmons.
What?
Still out there.
In celebration of your boy Liam Curtin, there are no Irish feudal lords listed here, and that's racist.
We ride on board with our boy Javi Perez Torres, who's up in a 4th place, so he's having a solid day. Can he turn this into a podium? I need a gap between him and between him, Subtotal, and Beal before I can really think about that. He's ahead of Subtotal, so pardon me. So it would be the gap between him and Beal would be the interesting one between the 2 lead Lexuses.
Why doesn't the actual leaderboard contribute to the clarification of stuff?
So the deal with the leaderboard is it updates at each timing sector. There are 3 timing sectors on the track, so you have to go past one of them before we get an accurate picture. And we now know that Javier is 26 seconds behind Beal. It's going to be a tough one to make up, but there is time, and we'll see if he can do it.
We believe in him.
It also gets really confusing when you're more than a sector ahead of your opponent, because then it just doesn't give me a gap to work with, which is very annoying.
I can dig it.
So we're still waiting on Simmons has stayed out so long that he's actually lapped up to 4th place. That's him up ahead in the yellow Ferrari. So he does need to pit, but he has lapped everybody but Voodoo and Beal. Time is running down in that pit window. He's got 2 more laps, probably, depending on any mistakes, to make his pit stop.
Everybody comment in the comment section below your preferred address of Imperial nobility.
Javier is doing an excellent job right now. He just put up a 50.8, so he is doing some of his best laps of the race. But I don't know if he's going to have his way. Warburton there, you can see, has the pace. 50.9 is her best lap, and she's all over the back of RWB Robert, who is once again going to keep her behind. This came up in the stewarding meeting, so I do want to touch on it now, and I actually have a planned video to cover this, and this is my example, so kind of spoiler on this matter. I think that RWB Robert would have been suited to let Warburton through at some point, because he's creating a dangerous situation. I believe he commented something about Warburton being inconsistent, so on, and I wouldn't want an inconsistent car behind me if it was faster than me and on a different lap. I would have eased off the throttle at some point to let the McLaren through, because I think he's just exposing himself to damage that is unrequired. But
yeah, I mean, if you can't outpace the person behind you, come on, man.
Yeah, like, this is not a battle for position. She is a lap down, possibly even 2 laps down, because of her early pit stop, and he's just not really gaining anything by keeping her behind. What he's gaining is a dangerous position, basically, that he doesn't need to be in.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to actively defend to try and keep your position against somebody that far back in the race, bro, Come on. Just let whoever it is go ahead and draft. Save your gas and your tires.
Yeah, I don't think he's necessarily per se defending. I don't want to go that far, but there's been a couple of times where she stepped that we've even seen just on this replay and watching here and doing the commentary where we've seen her pop out from behind him as to say, I'm coming through, and he is not accommodating, we'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
He's not necessarily blocking or anything, but he is...
Blocking?
He is making things... Not right now. Right now, he seems to have a good pace, and he's got a good thing going. But like 2 laps ago, for example, she was coming down the inside of Rettifilio, and I'll say this, battling for position into Rettifilio is scary as fucking shit. So if you have a lapped car behind you that is coming down the inside of Rettifilio, you just let him through. Just remove that from your life. I'll have a whole breakdown of this whole thing for the ESR Academy actually in a bit, because I cannot help you be faster. That has been long established. But what I can do is fill in some other toolbox notes as Liam Curtin is off the track. Oh no! And his front end looks very smashed up. That could be bad for your boy.
My boy?
Yeah, your boy is falling back.
No.
Your other boy, I should say, because of course Javier is primary boy. Javier is head boy in the boy stable.
Indeed.
So RWB Roberts still running in 6th place. Well, not still running in 6th place. He's just taken 6th place from Liam Curtin, who has fallen back. Johansson's also through. I imagine Morpheus will probably also overtake him, as well as Dave Nelson. Because I imagine with that front end damage, Liam Curtin is losing a fair bit on the straightaway. This is, for those unaware, Monza is absolutely king when it comes to aerodynamic efficiency and the ability to have straight line speed. So any damage to your front end is a significant problem. Max Simmons is in the pit just in time because there's less than 50 seconds. Oh boy! RWB Robert having a moment there. That was an interesting bit of lag. Wonder if that's lag on my end or is that lag on RWB Roberts' end?
I'm going to go with both.
Both is a possibility. So anyways, Daniel Madringa in 10th place after having to serve that drive-through. Liam Curtin's in the pit lane again, so that is going to heavily compromise his race. So he's going to do a double pit stop here, and that will probably eliminate the chances of a top 10, barring anything interesting happening here in the last 20 minutes. As the pit window closes, not a factor. Everybody has gotten their pit lane deal done.
Except Max Simmons, who refuses to pit.
No, he pitted. And apparently is way ahead of Voodoo, so I'm going to wait and see if that gap adjusts at a timing.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
65 seconds seems like a lot. Seems like we don't have an adjusted moment here, so we'll wait on that. But that'll be if he does have that gap. Oh, here we go. Yeah, 2.1. Okay. All right. I would say it did work here, though. He's got the fresher tires. He's got track position. He's in a good spot, and I do like Max Simmons' chances here. Voodoo in second, Beal in third. Has Javier been closing the gap to Beal, or what's going on with that? Can I get a time on Javi? Going to go with probably a no based on how long this time is taking to come up. As we're on board with Morpheus 1975 right now in 8th place. Kind of in no man's land. He's quite a ways behind Johansson, but has a comfortable lead over Dave Nelson. Dave Nelson appears to be the guy who lost out the most in the pit stops. There is the gap for Javier, 26.7. So he is not getting any closer, but he's not losing ground. But unfortunately, I think that means his podium dreams, barring major incident, appear to be kind of done. And he needs to be probably looking behind him at Marcus Subtotal, trying to take that 4th place from him.
That sounds like a very negative type commentary, and I do not appreciate it.
It's a rational one. I don't know about negative.
I think that you, sir, I have no faith that Javier Perez Torres can't just put his foot in the gas pedal and make it moonwalk all the way across the track to victory.
We're back with RWB Robert here, who is closing in on Liam Curtin in the Rebel Porsche. And behind him, it's Kate Warburton. So Warburton and Curtin are actually battling for position. Robert is not part of this fight. He is on the lead lap. And in behind them, I can't see him, but Kim Johansson's not too far back, about 4 seconds behind at this point. Man, those are some choppy looking trees. Can't help it. I put the foliage on low.
You're the worst.
ACC is one hell of a bitch when it comes to graphics, I must say, because I got a pretty reasonable graphics card in this PC. Oh, Simsock Beal, why are we with you? It looked like he might have been off. I'm not sure. Can I... Again, don't have a timing reference that's any different. He'll be approaching a timing line here shortly. That will tell us something. Because it's right there. You see that cross across the track on the track map? That is the timing line right there. And he's lost ground, but nothing ridiculous. So maybe just a minor error drawing the camera's eyeball towards him here. Still running comfortably in third place, though. Voodoo is catching up to Max Simmons, so those fresher tires are not granting Simmons a pace advantage over Voodoo. As we check back in with RWB Robert. Blue flag out for Liam Curtin, who makes a bit of a mistake there, or is he just trying to let him through? I don't know which.
And you never will. The mystery remains.
Well, Liam could tell me.
He could, but I don't think he will.
Liam Curtin being overtaken there by RWB Roberts, so blue flag cleared, and now he does not have the stopgap between him and Kate Warburton. Oh god, he is very slow out of Ascari though. This is getting dicey. 3 wide almost down the straight heading towards Parabolica. Warburton's got the run going to the inside. Curtin's also there. RWB stays ahead. Again, he is not in this fight. It is the white McLaren versus the blue Porsche. The yellow Porsche is not in this fight as they head down towards Redifilio. And again, Warburton looking down the inside, but does not thinking about it. She moves back to the inside again. She desperately wants to eliminate the threat of Curtin behind her, and they're going to go side by side into Redifilio, and Curtin taps the back of Warburton and spins her around. Kim Johansson taking nice evasive action there. Quality driving. And Warburton appears none the worse for wear. She is rejoined in the vicinity of Dave Nelson. So Curtin will keep the 13th or 12th place there. I will say that we did meet about the stewards on that and declared that a racing incident. Not really sure if I like doing commentary after the stewards or if I dislike it, because on the bright side, it does mean that I can, shed some light on any stewarding decisions. On the dark side, it means part of the race has been spoiled for me.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong, but we could also, if you do it before, then we can just penalize everybody verbally.
That's another plus. Yeah, that's true. So Max Simmons still out in the lead. He's lengthened the gap to this man, Voodoo Child, to 2.2 seconds. Beal back there, then Perez Torres. Things seem pretty settled in the top 10, to be honest, with the exception of Morpheus versus Johansson. That's a tight battle. Only a half second in it right now. I also would say maybe Madringa could make some moves, but he is about 12 seconds behind Nelson, so I'm not sure if that's really on. All right, Byron. Do you think Simmons is going to blow it?
I mean, he hasn't not blown it yet.
ride with Kim Johansson versus Morpheus. This is the battle I would like if we would stick with, because I think it's the most live battle on the track. Johansson's not really had the pace today. Morpheus has had some top end pace. Morpheus has had some inconsistencies, though, that has landed him in behind him. I think this is where we have the most intrigue right now, and that's Liam Curtin up ahead of them, along with RWB Robert. So 3 Porsches and a McLaren in this shot, and then Dave Nelson in the background in the Tech 1 Lexus, and Warburton in the Jensen Rocket McLaren. On board with Johansson inside the McLaren. Look at all those buttons.
And they're all ejector seats.
So many buttons and knobs inside of a race car. Adjusting for your brake bias, adjusting your traction control, your ABS, your engine map, your
all ejector seats. Don't fool yourself.
No. Oh, Liam Curtin in the wall. Liam Curtin seems to be determined to reject your suggestion that he's getting better, I must say.
Whoa, hey, you calm down.
Well, he's in the pits for a third time. I can't help it. Oh, Morpheus lost the back end. That's the second time I think we've seen Morpheus lose it at Parabolica. I wonder if he's just got too much front end on that Porsche. Of course, it is the Porsche, and we know my long-standing dislike of the Porsche.
He
That's
obviously witnessed the thickness and got a little intimidated with the back end.
So Johansson, pressure's off him, and now he gets to look forward at RWB Robert in that yellow Porsche. There is another battle going on. It's Javier Perez Torres versus Marcus Subtotal, but we don't want to see that on our screen because it probably means Marcus has got to run on our boy Javi. So, camera guy, stay away from there. And we'll feel good about it. We'll feel good about it. That Javier is just managing things nicely in fourth place. Javier has confirmed that he will be participating in Thursday night's Drunken Gaming Night. Lords Waterdeep, along with ESR admin Martin Edmonds, myself, and of course my co-commentator, Mr. Byron.
No, I'm gonna be too drunk.
What was your title that you wanted again?
Princely Count, I think?
Princely Count, Byron. There we go.
That's a randomly very specific thing.
Indeed. Warburton kind of in this weird spot again where she's caught a car that's a lap ahead of her. This has kind of been her whole theme this entire race. It looks like Liam Curtin has packed it in, so...
No, it's curtains for him.
It's a boring day for Warburton now. She's not really racing anybody. I do like that Jensen Rocket car, though. The outline of the driver I find kind of unique. It's the Braun F1 car that won the 2009 World Championship pattern, which of course was Jensen Button's team. So there's that kind of nice nostalgia built in, because I don't know anyone who didn't love the Braun win, or the Jensen win for that matter. Although not my McLaren of choice. I'm a little surprised no one's running the 2C McLaren. Come on, guys. That's a really awesome looking livery, and you guys are just letting it sit there unused. Very rude. Johansson's getting closer to Robert. Subtotal is unfortunately getting closer to Perez Torres. Yet instead of watching those two key battles for position, we've got a close match between the 8th place car and a lapped 12th place car. Kind of weird. That is not Voodoo Child behind Max Simmons. That is Big Al. Kind of another situation here. Big Al looks like he's putting out some good times right now. Simmons doesn't look like he has the best speed, but he has brought his lead out to 3.8 seconds, so that's interesting. Maybe just a section of the track that Big Al does have good pace in here in the first sector.
I feel like Big Al probably has some good food recipes.
Maybe you should look him up on the Discord there.
I can't.
I can give the introductions.
It's too far away. They will never accept me.
Well, I mean, just send a private message sort of thing. You might be on our
server. That's
server
just creepy. I mean, come on.
Private messages are the way business gets done, sir.
Gross.
It's the way that you market and make lordly friends whose properties are requiring money that you can provide in exchange for land rights to start up your own white skunk farm.
That's fine. I'm just gonna stick with my low-level Hoochitarium.
Profitable business.
No, but it's really a lot of fun for like a whole weekend.
I feel like you could probably make some profit off of it.
Probably. I just need more bins and more jugs.
So Simmons in the lead, about 3.5 seconds up on Voodoo still. Beal is quite a ways back in third and kind of having a bit of a lonely race because he's quite ahead of Javier Perez Torres. Torres is under pressure from Soup Total. RWB Robert battling with Kim Johansson. Dave Nelson kind of on his own by the looks of it. Morpheus kind of on his own. Madringa kind of on his own. Madringa is catching up to Morpheus quite quickly, so he might be able to improve on that 10th place yet. And then Big Al and Warburton, I think, are sadly kind of not really fighting with anybody, which is always a little bit disappointing.
Time to put somebody in the wall.
As we picked up Warburton there for a moment, Voodoo now needs to get past Big Al with the assistance of the blue flags to try to put the pressure back on Max Simons, Simons. And a late move there into Rajia. It looked like Big Al was trying to let him through there, but at a bit of an awkward spot, I must say. But anyways, Voodoo now is directly behind Max Simmons. They're about one turn apart as Simmons heads through Lesmo 1. Lesmo 2. So Simmons is about one Lesmo ahead of Voodoo Child.
In the future, all things will be Lesmo.
You are correct. Kim Johansson is all over the back of RWB Robert there. That's down to 1/10 of a second. So, camera guy, if we could get it that direction, please.
You cannot.
As much as I do like the yellow Bentley that Voodoo Child has penned for his car here, I would really enjoy seeing a good hard battle, although it looks like 3/10 got added on. So I think maybe Kim Johansson went for it and didn't get it, and is now resetting for perhaps another run here in the last 5 minutes. Madringa is now only 1.5 seconds behind Morpheus. Morpheus is only 2/10 behind Nelson, so if we could get that on camera too, that would be lovely. We got a hard fight for 6th and a hard fight for 8th going on here right now. And we just don't have a battle for the lead, unfortunately. Simmons is over 5 seconds. And there we are, RWB Robert. Looks like he defended another attempt there from Kim Johansson. Johansson's made a bit of a mistake, and that has freed up the Porsche to stretch its legs a little bit out of Ascari and heading towards Parabolica. Now, RWB Robert, we have seen make a pair of mistakes at Parabolica, so maybe Johansson can capitalize. Seen a couple of mistakes at Parabolica. We've seen Morpheus spin there twice as well. It's been a bit of an interesting corner, which isn't usually the most interesting corner on this track, but has been today, to be honest. As Johansson is 6/10 back, so he is losing ground, possibly because of failed attempts to overtake Robert. In the meantime, Morpheus and Madringa got past Nelson, and Madringa got past Morpheus, and now Morpheus has dropped back behind Nelson, so maybe Madringa got past Morpheus under dubious circumstances.
Did he take the red pill or the blue pill?
I would say the red pill.
You would say that.
I would say that. Did he follow the little white rabbit?
Perhaps.
Did he listen to the prophecy of the oracle?
No cookie for him.
I mean, you got to take the Oracle's cookie, man. Come on.
No cookie.
Who knows what kind of goody-goody matrix code's in that? Also going a little bit slowly through Lesmo there. I'd like an outside shot of the car to see if maybe he's carrying a little bit of damage. A little bit slow into Lesmo too as well. That could just be lack of comfort. Morpheus has fallen back about 4 seconds, so I think definitely something happened to Morpheus. Whether it was self-induced or something to do with Morpheus or Madringa or Nelson, I don't know. Was not reported to the stewards, therefore I'm going to go with self-induced.
Like the vomiting?
I mean, let's not get into Lord George here for like a half second, please.
Whoa.
Johansson has overtaken RWB Robert for 6th place, but RWB Robert looks like he's got an excellent run here as we're going to head towards Redifilio, McLaren versus Porsche, heading into the first chicane. Robert is ahead. Johansson gets a little bit better on the brakes. Can he get it done? Nope. Better through Redifilio is Robert, and he will retain 6th place. Dave Nelson in the pit lane. That is not a good sign. It might back up my thoughts on the damage. Bit weird that he would pit now, though. Feels too late. So that's just.
Well, I mean, it's either that or fall behind 17 laps in the last like 2 minutes.
I mean, it's gonna render him behind Big Al, I think for sure. Might come out ahead of Warburton still. We'll see. Depends on the damage, I guess. Johansson versus Robert. I think this is the fight to stick with, camera guy. You follow me, camera guy? You're gonna love my nuts.
Time to switch to Max Simmons for no reason.
I mean, when he takes the checkered flag, I wouldn't complain too much, I guess.
Yeah,
You know, seeing the winner take the checkered, yeah, that's cool. But not before then, please. RWB Robert hanging on, and don't show us Javi Perez Torres because nothing good can come of that. That means Javi spun or something. I don't want that. I don't want that.
We want the Javi to be all the Perez Torres he could be.
Mm-hmm. Johansson looking around the outside of Parabolica, but he cannot handle the line. Good defense by RWB Robert. But the pressure is still on. This should be their final lap here. So last chance for Johansson. Anything he's got, he needs to deliver right now. He slowed Robert down, who did a 52.7 that last lap, about 1.3 seconds slower than his best one. So he is definitely struggling to keep Johansson behind him. But it doesn't really matter because really it's just him and Johansson for 6th place. The car behind them there, Warburton, down all lap. And we do have the checkered flag. Max Simmons has taken the win. Congratulations, Max. Big pat on the back. You put it together today, and you recovered actually from a really hard hit on the first lap and kept it going. So I got nothing but love for that performance. Voodoo Child, 2nd place, still dominating this championship. Simsock Beal, perhaps on the podium for the first time, actually. So that's nice. We await Javier Perez. Can we not look at Voodoo in the pit lane? We have a battle for 6th place going on. What the fuck, camera guy? As Max Simmons DCs from the server, but I do believe his win will still stand.
Nope, not anymore.
Check that.
Javier Perez Torres, 3rd place.
I mean, I would love it. Big Al finishes. Dave Nelson finishes. Javier Perez Torres. Maybe 3rd, maybe 4th. We'll find out. And then it is Marcus Subtotal in the Aston Martin. Javier doing a little victory wiggle. Had a good run. Started 8th place and finished either 3rd or 4th. That's a pretty solid day at the office for the Lexus driver.
Hell yeah.
I'll take it. RWB Robert coming to the line in his battle with Johansson. Can we get a camera on that, please?
Nope.
Can we get a camera on that?
Nope. It's too important.
RWB Robert is finished.
It's the Finian principle.
So RWB Robert does get across the line. Johansson follows that, and then it'll be Morpheus and Daniel Madringa are battling down to the line as well. Could we get a camera on that? Please?
Nope.
All right, Morpheus does beat Madringa. Okay, so action is over. We have our results. Okay, let's go have a look at the results because we do have that confusion as to whether that win for Simmons will stand. Let's see if they've updated the race app. They have not, so I cannot tell you. It is a little bit harsh.
Well, I'll tell you, because I've disqualified everybody and nobody gets points this race.
Let me see if I can find the log file. If I can find it quickly, I'll do it. But if not, it is going to be a mystery for now. Nope. I don't have anything. This is a problem.
You're the worst.
All right. It's not my fault. I'm not in charge of the log files. Anyways, congratulations to Max Simmons. It does look like you got the victory based on the results we are being shown here. Congratulations. Excellent performance. Didn't throw it away. Didn't have problems. Delivered it. Turned on the pace at the end and finally made that overcut strategy work. If I didn't have to hold the press to talk, I would give a round of applause. Instead, I will give a,
just slap yourself in the face very rapidly.
No, I'm not doing that.
Come on, you're no fun.
That's the best you're getting. Second place going to Voodoo Child. Good enough for him on the championship. We head to the final race of the season. I am assuming with him quite in the lead. And rounding off the podium, Simsock Beal. I can answer whether Simsock has had a podium before. I will do that because
I don't believe you.
I think that is fair. So the final will be at Barcelona.
Sir, it's pronounced Barcelona.
Simsock. Nope, second podium. He had a podium at Spa, Francorchamps. So that's good.
What about Spa, Belch, or Shaw?
Kim Johansson's championship hopes kind of died in this race, though, with that 7th place finish. I think this is really Voodoo Child's to lose. How much is a win? 76 points. Doing the math here quickly in my head. 446. Yeah, I mean, unless Simsock doesn't show up for Barcelona or takes a bunch of penalties, this is his. I do believe Max Simmons probably moves into second place, though, today. So he'll have that to fight for with Johansson, as well as Soup Total. Dave Nelson has had a solid showing in this series. He'll be in the mix there. Javier probably overtook Big Al, who I believe is Alan Gooch. Could be wrong. And yeah. So that is all. That's all. So Byron, any final thoughts?
Cucumber tastes better pickle.
You heard it here.